Welcome to Brick Trains, and I'm Joey, and it's Ramble time. So, the other day, if you remember, you saw Dakota playing with his new daylight. Well, it's not new, but it's what we've been working on. And I was kind of going to go over what we got going on so far. These are our standard passenger cars. This side, let's just pull one of these apart. Let's just derail the train and push part of it one way and part of it the other way. So this end of the passenger car is going to have a bogie. So it's just going to be the end of the passenger car. And then we're going to, not a bogie, I said a bogie, but a vestibule right here. And this end, there's 3 more studs that go right here. And then we're going to put a door on this end. And then of course we got to do the roof. We kind of started on the roof for the observation car. I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but I really love these pieces. There's these 2 bowed windows. So what is that? 3x3 bowed window. They work great for 6-wide passenger cars. Let's just take it off the track. See, I don't know. I really like that. There's a lot of extra holes here because I'm using a lot of plates. I'm investigating something maybe different. I don't know. Can't get back on the track. It's hard to do with one hand while you're filming with the other. Looks like somebody's been in here playing with the car show. So let's go look at the another passenger car so we can kind of get an idea what we're doing here is with the doors. Where's a good one? Well, let's just look at this one. So this is one of my just standard silver passenger cars, like just something you would normally see, well, like behind the Santa Fe Super Chief, or you kind of just saw them everywhere. So this is a bad example because it doesn't have, what's the other side look like? No, these are just solid. Okay, that's fine. But this is the vestibule in between, and this is a door vestibule. So we have the 3-wide door, our standard train window kind of piece, little door handle. And then of course the bogie has steps to get into it. Now the other end of the car, I think, let's look at a Bluebird passenger. It's going to be more like the Bluebird anyway. The Bluebird is a train that was on the LNN, so the Louisville, Nashville. So here we have, again, my 3-door standard look. Yeah, this is a better vestibule here because I got a little red tile in there, kind of represent a red light. It's a little smaller here. The other one was a lot thicker for some reason. And you can kind of see the door, the pass through between the passenger cars. So we have the door on this end, but on this end, it's just the vestibule and no car, or no door on this end of the car to enter the passenger car. And that's kind of how real train passenger cars are. Some trains don't even have an exit door out. They just have doors leading from car to car, and then certain cars have, I guess, exit doors? I don't know. To actually get out of the car. So that's what we're going to do here on the, on these. We'll have a door on one end, and then we'll have a vestibule on the other. This particular car is going to be his dome car. Now, this looks like a door, and I think in the door, the video footage, and we found some pictures of a vestibule that he likes. It has a window here. It's a smaller window. It almost looks like a door, and it may be some kind of like a access door or something for the railway employees. It does not look like one of the normal doors that they would have, but you know, in a real passenger car, they kind of hid the doors anyway. So, but he likes this window arrangement we have here, and then 2 big windows here, and then that little window, and then we'll put the dome, the vestibule, I guess I should have stayed over there, and we'll go look at what we're talking about. I keep saying vestibule. That ain't right either. It's a dome, a Vista dome. Let's look at a Vista dome car, because I think I only have, that's probably a bad shot up my ear, one Vista dome car that I've made, and that's this one. All right. So this is the part that we're talking about here, this roof section. And they usually were kind of sometimes they had a double decker or a lower section in the car. Is that even showing up? More, yeah, lower section of the car, because you had a whole nother floor right here that the people could sit up in. Me and my wife have ridden in, I keep touching my forehead, I don't know why. Me and my wife have rode on several excursion trains, tourist trains, whatever, and we rode a couple times where we've paid to sit in those. And there's advantages and disadvantages. Now we're going to start rambling, talking about trains. We've set them where the cars were, it also depended. We sat in one, and it was the middle of the summer. There was AC in those, but the AC is from like the 1950s. So it was terrible. You could feel a cool breeze, but the overwhelming heat coming through the windows was bad. Now, me and my wife toughed it out, because we're tough people, and we were wanting to take some video and stuff, and it was pretty scenic. There was a lot of open, which gave you some pretty good views from that dome position. But we've also rode another one that was it was more mountain, and so the view was more up, which was fine looking up, but it really didn't give you an advantage. We also rode that one. It was more it was early fall, late summer. It wasn't near as hot, and so the air conditioning in that one wasn't so bad. So take that into an account if you're going to ever go on an excursion train or one of these tourist trains or something, and you have the opportunity to ride in a Vista dome, and it's in a much older car. It probably has much older air conditioning. Okay, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the Union Pacific BigBoy here. So this is one of my favorite. This is my mock. This is a 6-wide mock. We've seen it on the channel before. There was a recent video on YouTube, and it's actually a whole bunch of them. You just look up BigBoy pushing a freight train. Basically, a freight train had stalled one of the engines. There was 2 diesels. One of the engines had whatever, something happened to it, and they were unable to get the train up the hill. And the BigBoy was leaving wherever it was at, Oregon or somewhere, headed back to Cheyenne, and they couldn't get past, and they were in between. I don't know, there was a whole big deal. So they contacted, I guess, the train crew. I know the BigBoy train crew's in contact Ed, the guy that's in charge of that. Any rate, long story short, the 4014, the BigBoy, had to push this train, and apparently it was a very long train, big train, but they had to push it up and over the hill so they could keep on moving and actually just get out of the way of the BigBoy. So one of the things that Dakota noticed was there's a hitch. What are we, camping? There's a coupler on the front of the BigBoy. He's like, Papo, yours does not have a coupler on the front. So now we're working on a coupler. So we started with the old style magnet, which is what we're going to use. This whole section of my mock is not really long enough. The BigBoy has a bigger platform up here, and unfortunately, and Dakota watched it and he saw it, they hide this behind the grill on the real one. It actually folds in and is normally hidden, which is why I never kind of mocked it up, because I just didn't realize that there was a coupler actually hidden in there. So I don't know that we're going to hide it, but I think we're going to take the advantage of having this coupler added. We're going to go ahead and build this platform up. There's a light that usually sits here and some other stuff. We're going to work on that. that cable is actually for this 9-volt motor. We use that cable as this 9-volt motor is a pickup, and then the cable runs all the way through and then attaches back into well, back into here, into the tender, and then you can rearrange the wires. If you pull this off, you can change the wires so that you can either run this on a 9-volt, or you can run it on powered up. So yeah, that's a thing. What you can't do is have it wired for the powered up and put it on the 9-volt track and turn the 9-volt transformer on. That would cause some problems with the powered up stuff. But it's okay to leave it like it is here, where power is feeding into this on the RC track from the powered up. But you can't do both. You can't run it over here and run it with the powered up. So it's a whole thing. So yeah, we're going to do that. We'll get this little platform figured out, and then, you know, that'll be some improvements to our big boy. So that is the thing. And then what else are we starting? Oh, we got one other thing here we can talk about. So Lego started making these. Let's see, let's go somewhere where we can actually shoot these, or I can drop them on the floor. Okay, so okay. I'm like, what is that guy in Leo Gets? If you know what movie that is. Okay. Leave a comment. Any rate, yeah, the Lego has. So I use a lot of these train bases. I think some of the train modelers call them big ugly train bases, but this is the one with the drop down. Now this is the newer one that it's actually one piece and then you can turn it around. And they're doing this because they're making semi trucks out of these now. But as a train guy, since this is the same geometry that they had in the other train bases, which I use for a lot of my passenger cars, you just take two of them and basically you can make however long a base you want. So I've been playing with how wide I'm going to make this. I think currently this is at least 4 studs wider. If you just put them together, they were actually shorter than the original plate like this. But with this, I can make it longer to whatever one. What do we got here? 6 here, which I think gives us 2 more studs than normal. I don't know. I don't know the math off the top of my head right now. But we're going to use these dark gray base plates with the light bluish gray wheels. And yes, I know most passenger coaches have 3 sets of wheels and not 2 sets of wheels like I have here. But it's very hard to get 3 sets of wheels inside this, and I'm sticking with my 6-wide, and I'm sticking with basically what Lego's got going on. So at any rate, this is going to be the bottom start of some Union Pacific passenger cars. So yellow with a red stripe. Let's go see. I think we have a Union Pacific caboose over here we can look at. Yeah, here's the Union Pacific caboose. The water, I used some water slide decals and it came completely off. But there's one on the other side. Get hit on the track. I can't. There. So something like this kind of color scheme with the. I like the dark bluish gray, works good. The yellow and the red. Funny enough, I used actual old windows. These are the old like what are they, from the 60s, 50s, and 60s? I use those in this caboose just because I could. So, yeah, we're gonna do some Union Pacific ones. Basically, Dakota wants he wants to be able to model the current state of the 4014, which is where they're pulling passenger cars, because the big boys didn't pull passenger cars usually. They pulled freight when they were in active service. But nowadays there's only one running, and it is an excursion train for the most part, and they pull passenger cars unless they're pushing a freight train. So yeah, and this is our water car, the Jim Adams water car. This is another big water slide. This, on the real one, it's actually on like a plate sticking off. I just thought it was okay sticking it there. It's my train, I'll do what I want. All right, I think that is all that's going on. Heather's Paradisa city, or not Paradisa, her friend city, which is kind of in a state right now. Yeah, she hasn't been working on it very much. She hurt her ankle quite a while ago, so she's having trouble being able to go up and down the steps, and so she hasn't been working on that. There I am back in the light. But she has a couple new sets, the taller high-rise friend set. She's working on it, and she got the add-on cafe thing that went under it. So she's got that she's building. She's building that upstairs. And let's see, what do we get here? Oh yeah, looky there. My Eldorado Fortress came in. And what else do we get? This one. This, the Hocus Pocus house, or the Sanderson sisters. That's Heather's. She's a big fan of that. So she's gonna build that one. I don't know what we're gonna do with it. I'm trying to look around, see if there's anything else. Yep, if you're a big fan of the box in a box, we just filmed that one. And we have that one to go. And that'll be, oh, there's the set. Look at that. There's the set that Heather's going to be, she's building the add-on 41747 right now. And then you build this on top of it. She was looking through Dakota's Lego Life magazine. It's Lego Life, whatever it is, the magazine they give you, they send to the little kids. And it showed that whole thing built together, but it didn't say anything in there about being two sets. And I wasn't paying attention. She said, just get me this set. And I said, okay. So I bought the set. When it came in, she realized that it was not both. It didn't have the little cafe at the bottom. She was quite upset at Lego over this, to the point that she was like, this is false advertising. I don't know. I missed it. She completely missed it. I think it's because we started by looking in the Life magazine and saw the whole thing built. And in the Life magazine, it did not say anything about it being two sets. So I don't know if it also didn't call out either set's number. So is it false advertising? I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about that on the AFO podcast. We should have talked about that on the AFO podcast. We just recorded one. We'll record one again. But yeah, she's working on that, and yeah, now she's mad at Lego. Maybe get her to start doing rants. Okay, I'm done rambling. I'm looking around. Place is kind of disaster, but that's just how my life is. So thanks for watching.